Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Friday, February 19th, 2021. And here are our top stories. The travel industry has been hit hard, but there is pent-up demand and exploring the great continent of Africa. Well, joining me now to discuss this and a lot more is Sandy Sale. She's Chief Experience Officer for Hills of Africa. Sandy, great to talk with you. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Oh, what a pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
And look, I want to get, in the second segment, we'll delve deeper into, I think, Africa travel, because that's a tremendous continent. There's a lot to see there. But I wonder in this first segment, and also how you built your business, and I think that'd be incredibly interesting for a lot of those business owners out there. But let's talk in this first segment, what are your thoughts currently about travel, both here in the United States and also internationally, dealing with this COVID pandemic?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been in this for a year now, and I personally believe travel is a personal thing. If you want to do it, take precautions, mask up. Just for us, getting clients to Africa, I had clients arriving last week. We went through some hoops, and I think it's really important for people to be considerate of other people and the customs in the areas that you're traveling to. So get COVID tested, make sure you get a PCR test before getting on an airplane. In fact, maybe get 2 or 3. We got our clients 3 before they left, just to be prepared. Do that quarantine for 2 weeks prior to getting on an aircraft. And take precautions. Wear your mask, get an N95 mask, get a couple of N95s, and take extra cloth masks for yourself as well. And then take, the necessary sanitary products, sanitizing lotions, wipes, etc., so that you can look after yourself and look after other people. And it is a personal choice. If people want to travel, make sure you are looking after others before you get on an aircraft or go traveling.
Yeah, very well said. And certainly I think you probably want to check the airlines, because different airlines may have different travel requirements, as well as different countries, cities, etc. Sandy, when you look at the travel industry, we've read about and heard about, for example, and I know you're not in the cruise line business, but that cruise lines have been impacted out of Florida, New York, and other major ports, San Diego and elsewhere, airplane travel. What's your sense with talking with colleagues, people in your industry, maybe who are sending people to Africa, but they're doing some of these other things? Have their businesses started to recover? How are they dealing with the challenges?
Yeah, so most of my travel advisors that I work with obviously had a disastrous 2020. What I think was so brilliant was a lot of their clients have postponed travel as opposed to canceling travel. And I think that's hugely important for the industry as a whole. The travel industry, I can't tell you the exact numbers, but it equates to a huge amount of people that are employed in the travel industry, whether it's hotels or car rentals, airlines, travel agents, you name it. So it's really important for all of us to be thinking about travel, but also planning ahead and educating our clients about the benefits of travel. So yes, we all had a weird 2020. Most of our clients either postponed to 2021. Some we are actually experiencing wanting to postpone again to 2022. Totally understandable. My motto is we are here to look after our clients and to make them feel as safe and as comfortable and looked after as possible. So we are experiencing some transfers into 2022. I do know from a lot of my travel advisors that they have seen bookings pick up since middle of January. Not sure the reason why. I think people are beginning to feel a little bit itchy and realizing that sometime in the near future, they're going to be getting their vaccines. We had an event last night, actually, for a travel industry event. And quite a few people have had their second shot. So they're beginning to get itchy and wanting to dream and experience life again. And so they are booking for 2022 or late 2021.
Sandy, when you're talking with clients and you mentioned the flexibility, are you finding that hotels, airlines, other travel parts of the travel business, they're being flexible as well? So they're saying, all right, we understand. We want you to still come to our hotel, our country, et cetera. And are they being more flexible when it comes to planning?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are being much more flexible and offering, you can move within 12 months. You know, the smaller, more boutique operators are being so flexible and so welcoming and helpful to us as travel advisors in trying to negotiate on behalf of the clients. You know, if they can't travel within 12 months, can we please push it to 18 months? And so there is a lot of help and negotiation and really collaboration, which I think is so phenomenal in this travel industry. We all working together and we all trying to help each other and help the clients as our number one priority.
Yeah, well, as I always say, 100% of nothing is nothing, but if you get a little piece of 100%, that goes a long way. And is it your sense that there is this pent up demand? You seem to intimate that in your comments, and that and I would agree. I think people want to get out. They want to socialize. They want to see the hills of Africa, which we'll talk about in our next segment. But is it your sense that we are going to see maybe come 2022 or late 2021, people, maybe there will be no one working and everyone will just take, the whole globe will just take a month off? What are your thoughts about pent-up demand?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's huge. There's a huge pent-up demand. I've seen some of my friends, I don't actually do anything but Africa, but I know a lot of my friends have taken their laptop and they're going on laptop vacations. So they've found a resort that they like in the Caribbean or in Mexico. That is, they've obviously done the protocols and made sure that the properties are safe and have taken protocols seriously. And they've gone there for 2 or 3 weeks just to trying to get out and travel and do something different. So yes, I mean, just seeing that and what is going to happen in the future. I don't think a lot of people are going to travel until they've had their vaccine or feel safe that they can actually travel to an environment. But once that happens, I think it's all go, go, go. People are going to want to get out and be with families. I think there's going to be a huge demand for family travel, multi-generational travel, where you've got granny and grandpa and the parents and the kids all traveling together. I think there's going to be huge demand for that.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I cannot wait to see my parents in person. I like FaceTime. I love Zoom, which we're using now. But I think being in person, being able to shake hands with my dad or give my mom a kiss on the cheek or even hug my brother, I'm looking forward to that. Well, Sandy, I want to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the hills of Africa. We'll talk about African travel and learn a little bit more about Sandy's business. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. Look, with the uncertainty of the virus and vaccines, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Here's the bottom line. Call to get significant benefits at no additional cost and see if your zip code has coverage with the Give Back benefit. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-924-3920. That's 1-800-924-3920.
Welcome back. We're talking to Sandy Sale of Hills of Africa. Sandy, thank you so much for staying with us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm having fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, look, I think a lot of people who are tuning in, they're living vicariously through the stories that you're telling. And I want to talk a little bit more about your business. I know we talked in general about the travel business, but I want to talk about the Hills of Africa. First, when did you start the business? And could from there, could you talk about how it evolved and how it grew?
Absolutely. I love talking about my business in Africa. So yes, I worked, I started the business about 21 years ago, just shy of 21 years ago. And it really happened because I said to my husband, I really would love to go back and live in Zimbabwe. And he was like, there is not a chance. We are not going back to Zimbabwe. So I thought to myself, how am I going to pretend that I'm living in Africa every single day? And so Hills of Africa was born, and very, very lucky to be working with people who want to go to Africa, and I get to pretend I'm there every day. So yeah, we've been in business 21 years, and we are a boutique company, very customer service based. And what I love about working for Hills of Africa and doing what I do is I get to really get to know my clients and understand their desires and dreams. I get to learn about their hobbies and what they like and what they don't like. And then we customize and tailor an itinerary to Africa based upon what they really want. So absolutely love what I do and grateful every day to be doing this.
Yeah, well, you can certainly hear the passion in your voice. Let's talk about the great continent of Africa, because you mentioned Zimbabwe, but there are so many great countries and cultures there. What can clients expect? I mean, I think a lot of people are probably familiar with things like the safari, but there's a lot more than checking out lions and tigers and elephants, right? I mean, there's a lot of culture, a lot of things to check out there.
You know, it's funny, when clients come to me, they come to me saying, I want to go and see rhino and elephant and lion. And then we get talking a little bit more, and I encourage them to maybe do some kind of culture or meeting the local people. And when they come back, I ask them, okay, so how was it? You know, what was the best part? And they say, we absolutely loved the animals and the safari experience, but it was the people that really got to us and made us get all goosebumpy and really affected them. So I think that's the number one thing, is the people. So, you know, there are different areas. Obviously, I love getting to meet the local people and getting our clients interacting with them. For example, in Cape Town, there's a really great organization called Utando, which means love in the local language. And you get to meet entrepreneurs who in kind of previous lives were really good at growing vegetables, and they've been given the entrepreneur skills, and now they're selling their vegetables to the top hotels in Cape Town. So you get to experience that kind of thing, or you get to go and have a meal in a family's house. Kenya is fantastic for the Samburu and Maasai tribes, all the beautiful colors, the oranges and the yellows. So you can get involved and go and meet them. And maybe if you get lucky, you get invited to a Samburu wedding. So there's lots of opportunities with that. I love going to a local's home. And for example, in Cape Town, you can go to a Malay house and you can learn how to make Cape Malay cuisine and be part of their family for the evening. So many opportunities to meet people. And that is something I really encourage our travelers to do, because getting to know the local people, you get to experience something different. You get to see how other people live, and you can come home and make a difference to other people.
Yeah, I agree. It puts like everything we learned in social studies, and it's almost or history in real life. Sandy, when people travel to Africa, do they typically, I mean, it's such a large continent, do they do it in pieces? So they might do one trip where they go to South Africa, Cape Town, Zimbabwe, I mean, or do they try to do a lot in one? And how do you do that? Do you fly from place to place? What's the people out there listening, and they, of course, they can seek you out on your website and talk to you, but in general, what's the best way to approach traveling to Africa?
Yeah, so for us, it really is about getting to know the client and finding out what their likes and dislikes are, how long they want to take for a trip, what are the main things they want to do, not necessarily areas, because that's where we focus in on and help them to be able to do that. But for example, some clients only have 10 days, some have 20 days. So doing something where you're going to see the whole of the areas that we operate in for 10 days is really not feasible, because you're just going to be on an aircraft the entire time. So I like to concentrate on a specific region, for example, Southern Africa, where you can do Cape Town and the people and the beautiful scenery and really great food. You can do the winelands, which is 45 minutes from Cape Town. Then you could go to Victoria Falls, which is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and you'd fly direct. It's becoming much easier, actually. A lot more flights are direct. So Cape Town to Victoria Falls is a 2-hour flight. See the Victoria Falls, do a walk, see the elephants, just, be on the Zambezi River with great sunset cruises, and then go off to safari. I like to end with wow, and safari always kind of ticks that wow list. And then again, you'd fly there. Or if you're going to do, for example, you want to do gorillas and safari, I'd concentrate more on doing Uganda or Rwanda and combining with the Masai Mara, where you can get a direct flight from the gorillas to your safari destination. So trying to avoid those long layovers and unnecessary mandatory nights is really important to me, because then you get to experience it properly.
Yeah, and I would think that your clients probably come back, given the experience, they probably come back for repeat opportunities because there are so many different experiences. And is that correct?
No, I definitely. I mean, you have clients who come to you and say, this is the trip of a lifetime. I'm never going back to Africa. So you got to make it special for me. First thing they do when they come back is like, oh, we want to go back again and we want to do something different. So yeah, I've had one client who, exact same story, came to me sort of 15 years ago, and she goes every 2 years now to Africa. So I think you get hooked.
Yeah, I would think so. And I guess my last question, if you were planning to go there with a family, your spouse, significant other, do you need a tour guide? Is that something that you set up, or does that get included with the itinerary? You're going to go here, because new cultures, there's all these different norms that you don't want to land and offend people.
Absolutely. No, of course. And, important for us going into other areas or going into an animal's area, we're going into their environment. So we need to respect their rules and regulations. So I generally get a private guide in each different area. Or when they're on safari, they don't necessarily need a private guide, but using the camp's guides and just enjoying and learning. And one of my big tips is I'm a bit shy, but I try very hard to get out there and ask questions, because the more questions I can ask about my guide, the more I learn about his home, his lifestyle, and his beautiful area that he's working in. So I'm a big believer in using a guide in your destination.
Thanks, Sandy. Great to see you. Thanks for sharing your perspective.
Thanks very much.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to? Drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the information in retirement markets, technology, personal finance, so much more, all in one place, check out today's edition of our newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Don't forget, we're back again tomorrow with our retrospective show, BRN Weekly. We've got a very special guest, and we'll take a look at some of our best segments for the week. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.
Are you being audited, and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.